Hello everyone, back again with movie and tune recap. Today, I'm going to explain an American psychological thriller horror film from 2022, titled Who Invited Them. Spoilers ahead, so watch out and take care. The movie starts with a 6-year-old boy named Dylan going to his parents' room, while holding his stuffed monkey. He calls out to them and knocks on the door, but they don't answer, even though he hears noises inside. Then, blood starts coming out from under the door, but it's just a nightmare, and his mom comes in to check on him. Next, we meet Dylan's parents, Adam and Margot, who have just moved to a new house. Margot tells Adam about Dylan's nightmare, and Adam thinks it's just because of the new environment, and he believes Dylan will stop having nightmares once he gets used to the new house. Suddenly, Margot sees a black car outside the window and thinks they're being watched. When Adam looks, the car is nowhere to be found, and he jokingly tells Margot she might be under the new environment's influence and tries to calm her down, but Margot is convinced she saw something. The scene shifts to a group of people having a party at Adam's new house. They're actually the founders of the company where Adam works, and he invited them to celebrate his recent achievement. Adam grabs everyone's attention and gives a heartfelt speech, and while everyone is clapping, he notices a couple he didn't invite. We meet Neil, Adam's boss, and his wife, Lily, who are getting ready to leave because they have plans the next morning. While everyone else is enjoying themselves, Margot isolates herself in the kitchen and isn't having a good time. However, Brooke, the cook, encourages her to join the party and even jokingly threatens her with a knife to get her to have fun. Later, Margot talks to a couple, Frank and Teeny, a friend of hers, and their child is having a sleepover with Dylan. Margot expresses her concern about Dylan, but Teeny reassures her that the babysitter has texted, saying the boys are asleep and that she'll bring Dylan home in the morning. After the party and everyone has left, Adam discussed the strange couple he saw with Margot, thinking they might be her friends. However, Margot denies knowing them, leaving Adam to wonder who invited them. Later, while Margot is going through the refrigerator, she is startled by the strange couple, who realize they're the last ones at the party. The man apologizes for scaring her, and as they're about to leave, Adam stops them and asks who invited them. The man reveals they are their next-door neighbors, Tom and Sasha. Tom explains why they came to the party and feels silly for not introducing themselves earlier. He also compliments the party and expresses his joy for Adam's playlist. Since they're neighbors, Tom suggests having a nightcap to get to know each other better, which Adam and Margot agree. While driving home and talking about the party, Frank hits something on the road, leaving the couple in shock. Frank gets out of the car to check while Teeny, still inside, stares at something in the woods. When Frank returns, he tells Teeny it was just a branch, but she's not convinced. Back at Adam's house, he and Tom engaged in a conversation, discussing about their business and company. Adam mentions his dream of starting his own company someday, and Tom reveals he knows some people he can introduce him to. Meanwhile, Margot and Sasha are enjoying themselves, chatting about their marriages and kids. Margot then asks Sasha what she and Tom were doing in the bathroom, and Sasha lies, saying they were sniffing hard drugs. Instead of getting angry, Margot asks Sasha if she has any with her. Later, the men join them, and Adam is surprised to see his wife indulging in hard drugs, and the gentle Margot we know is no acting like a wild person. They later put on music to make the nightcap more lively. Meanwhile, Dylan wakes up from another nightmare, and Teeny tells Frank about it, revealing that Dylan saw his parents being killed. Frank suggests they take him back home, but Teeny refuses, explaining it's a sleepover and the kids might be disappointed. Suddenly, they're startled by Dylan, who reveals he needs his stuffed monkey to sleep. Teeny promises to get it for him and decides to go back to Adam's house. As the party continues, Adam finds himself watching Sasha dance, but his attention is diverted when the music starts skipping. Later, Sasha and Margot head to the swimming pool, where they both smoke and talk about their mother-in-laws. Margot openly tells Sasha that she's a guitarist, and Sasha persuades Margot to play for her, which Margot does. Impressed, Sasha compliments Margot's skills, and Margot reveals that she used to be in a band called Feedlot. Sasha then reveals she remembers Margot during her band days, where she used to play together with a guy, and Margot admits it is her ex, Sebastian. Sasha persuades Margot to call Sebastian, even though they haven't spoken in years. Reluctantly, Margot starts to look for Sebastian's number on her phone, but Sasha takes the phone and calls Sebastian herself. Sebastian answers, surprised to hear from Margot at this hour, and Margot decides to invite him over so they can collaborate professionally, which Sebastian agrees to. Meanwhile, Adam decides to confide in Tom about the history of the house. He reveals that the previous couple who lived here died under shocking circumstances. The couple had a violent relationship for years, with the neighbors turning a blind eye, and eventually, the wife slit the husband's throat, and in retaliation, the husband shot her in the face. Shockingly, their twin children never called the police, and their bodies were discovered later by the police. Adam asks Tom not to mention anything to Margot because he hasn't told her the full story yet. Sensing some tension between the couple, Tom advises Adam to take Margot on a romantic vacation and have a heart-to-heart discussion. He jokingly suggests Adam should kill her, which leaves Adam disturbed, but he laughs it off. In another room, Tom reveals he knows Adam has been secretly eyeing Sasha, which Adam vehemently denies. However, Tom reassures Adam that it's okay and even encourage him, saying Adam can have Sasha as a way of saying welcome to the neighborhood. Shortly after, the women join them, and Margot tells Adam that Dylan's hamster is missing. Adam assures her they'll find it later and encourage everyone to enjoy the party for now. Meanwhile, Teeny, on her way to Adam's house, stops at the spot where they first stumbled upon something. She decides to step out of her car and, while looking around, she hears a noise coming from the woods. Opening her car trunk, she retrieves a rifle before heading into the woods, where she stumbles upon an injured dog in pain. Teeny is initially about to end the dog's suffering but ultimately can't bring herself to do it and decides to leave. While the other couples are enjoying a wonderful moment, Sasha decides to spoil it by bringing up Margot's former band, Feedlot, and this sparks a small argument between Margot and Adam. Margot reveals she called her ex, Sebastian, for a reunion, which angers Adam, and the couple engages in a serious argument, and Margot angrily insults Adam. However, she apologizes once she calms down. Tom then suggests a technique he and Sasha use to resolve arguments, which has worked for them a lot. Tom and Margot switch seats, and Sasha suggests the technique to resolve their argument, standing and facing each other, taking turns hitting each other on the shoulder, just like a punching game. Adam refuses, calling it ridiculous and an act of domestic abuse. However, Margot disagrees with Adam and playfully hits him on the shoulder, laughing about it and saying she feels better. She and the others persuade Adam to hit her back, and he jokingly complies. But in a moment of anger, Margot punches Adam back really hard, which Tom and Sasha said she did it well. Suddenly, Margot decides to provoke another argument between her and Adam, which makes Adam even angrier. He jokingly punched Margot again, but Margot punched him back very hard. Adam decides to quit the game because it's not fun anymore, and Sasha calls him a loser, declaring Margot the winner. However, it's all just to get Adam back into playing the game, while Tom and Sasha find joy in watching the couple hit each other. Instead of supporting Adam, Margot is busy persuading him to continue playing. Adam decides to play along, but when he tries to punch Margot, she dodges, causing Adam to strike the wall. This leads to another argument between the couple, and Adam reveals he was only faking and won't actually hit her hard. Margot decides to take a drink to calm herself down but discovers Dylan's dead hamster inside her drink, shocking the couple and leaving Margot furious. Later, Margot tends to Adam's injuries in the bathroom and reveals that Dylan will be devastated upon learning that his hamster has died. After treating Adam's injuries, the couple returns to meet Tom and Sasha. This time, Tom decides to stir up another argument between the couple by revealing Adam's plan for a threesome with Sasha, which Adam doesn't deny. This idea angers Margot, and she storms out of the room, and Adam decides to go after her. Adam tells Margot that he was just hearing Tom's idea out, even though he doesn't agree with it, and while they are conversing, Sasha eavesdrops on them. Adam apologized to Margot for his behavior, and they make up after their fight, sharing a kiss. They both decide to call off the nightcap and go to bed, and upon their return, Adam tells Tom and Sasha it's time for them to leave. Tom reveals they'll leave after finishing their drinks and tries to start another argument between the couple by mentioning Adam's secret about the house, which makes Margot to question him. Adam decides to come clean and tells Margot about the house's past history, involving the unhappy couple who committed homicide, which leave Margot in shocked by what she heard. Sasha adds that there's more to the story and reveals she has a link to a blog containing the full details, offering to send it to them if they want to read everything about the homicide. However, Margot and Adam decline, saying they don't want to hear anything more about it, and they urge them to leave, but Tom refuses and lays his head on Sasha's chest. This angers Adam, and he decides to call the police, but he discovers his phone is dead, and Margot doesn't know where her phone is. Frustrated, Adam decides to count up to 10 for Tom and Sasha to leave, but they prove stubborn. After counting up to 6, Adam decides to open the door for them, but instead, he finds a note placed at his door. Upon reading the note, Adam grabs a bottle and heads back to the room. When he counts up to 3, Adam smashes the bottle on Tom's head, revealing that he knows they are not the neighbors, and shows Margot the letter. Margot reads the letter and discovers it's from the actual neighbors, Bob and Annie Talbot. Sasha then reveals their actual address, including the number, and Margot checks it using binocular, confirming it's true. She reveals this to Adam, and they both apologize to Tom and Sasha for their actions. Tom jokingly suggests they should have one more drink before leaving, which unsettles the couple. Finally, Tom and Sasha decide to leave, and the couple watch to make sure they reach their house safely, and eventually, Tom and Sasha get in, which brings some relief to the couple. Meanwhile, Teenie is driving to Adam's home but eventually loses her way, and her car starts beeping, adding to her worries. As the couple prepares to go to bed, Margot notices that Sasha has left one of her earrings behind. Adam decides to go and return it, but Margot tells him not to go and apologize again. Nevertheless, Adam heads to Tom's house. Knocking at the door, Adam is answered by Tom, and he gives Sasha's earring back, and Tom seems to be in a hurry to close the door. Adam decides to question Tom about the house, and during their conversation, Adam hears screams coming from inside. Curious, Adam asks Tom what's going on, but Tom grabs Adam's hand and slams it against the door before pulling him inside. Meanwhile, Margot is going through her closet and discovers some writings on the wall. Upon closer inspection, she sees the names of Tom and Sasha, leaving her shocked. Back at the house, Adam is tied to a chair with duct tape over his mouth before being introduced to his real neighbors, Jim and Barbara. It's here that the truth comes out. Tom reveals that he and Sasha are the twins of the couple who committed homicide. When they were kids, Tom and Sasha would do anything to get their parents to fight because if their parents were busy beating each other, they couldn't mess with them. However, one night, they took things too far, and their parents ended up killing each other. From that moment on, they developed a love for causing fights between couples, just like what they did to Adam and Margot. It's also revealed that Jim and Barbara were aware of Tom and Sasha's parents' conflict and what they were doing to them when they were kids but decided not to intervene. Now, Tom and Sasha are seeking revenge on them. Sasha harms herself with a butcher knife before slashing Jim's throat, and Tom suffocates Barbara with a pillow, while Adam witnesses this gruesome act. Sasha then uses Jim's blood to draw a creepy face on the wall. Meanwhile, Margot, who has learned the truth, approaches the house and begins banging on the door, trying to force her way in. Tom advises Adam to never treat his child badly unless he wants him to end up like them, and Tom decides to spare his life. As soon as they leave, Adam manages to untie himself before running out of the house, unaware that Margot has entered the house through the back door. At the same time, Teenie manages to locate Adam's house and nearly run over Tom and Sasha, who are leaving the residence. Suddenly, Teenie hears Margot screaming upon seeing the lifeless bodies of Jim and Barbara. When Teenie is distracted, Tom stabs her in the arm and tells her to watch where she's going before he and Sasha leave. Teenie manages to get out of the car and arms herself with a rifle from her car trunk. While looking for her attackers, she spots Adam from afar and shoots him, mistaking him for Tom. Shortly after, Margot arrives at the scene and bursts into tears upon seeing Adam's body, screaming for help. Sometime later, we see that Adam is alive and has stitches on his face, revealing he only suffered a minor injury from the bullet. While driving home, Adam hears a news report about Tom and Sasha, and the police are on a manhunt for the siblings. Upon arriving home, Adam gives some flowers to Margot, and decides to share some good news with her. Adam reveals that he has rented them a new house close to their old neighborhood, just as Margot wanted, but Margot refuses, saying they are not leaving this house. She reveals that Dylan's nightmares have stopped, and now he is happy here. Adam fears that Tom and Sasha might come back, but Margot assures him that nothing like that will happen. Suddenly, he starts hearing his record player playing music, which Margot denies she didn't put on. Adam then realizes it's the same music that was skipping before, but now it's not, and he constantly says, "It's not skipping." He then spots a drink nearby, followed by the noise of a bottle shaking, as the movie concludes. Okay guys, that's all the recap about Who Invited Them from 2022. Thanks for watching, see you again in the next video.